What's up, Lock Talk family? It's your boy Jason, and we're back for another YouTube video breakdown, MLB baseball in full effect. And before I go off, hit that subscribe button, put that notification bell on so you never miss a video. Majority of you who watch me are Ghost Watchers. Stop being a Ghost Watcher and subscribe, join the family. And let's go run it up, man. We've been on absolute fire on the YouTube, man. Went basically 3-1 with the plays I gave out. Patrick Corbin, over earned runs, over strikeouts, all cashed. Zach Allen did not get under his earned runs, but there were guys that followed what I said and they actually bet his outs or kind of fixed it up, cashed with that. And then the last one, Hunter Brown over his outs, he got, I think, 18 or 21 outs. So nonetheless, over 17.5 was a casher. So you've been tailing the free picks. And even in premium, we cashed in a few other big ones, the Twins, money line, blowout winner, man. And then we also hit on, let me see what the other ones, there's so many, I just gotta look. Let's see, we also hit on, where is it? Oh, give me one sec, guys, because I'm just forgetting. There's so many things that go on every single day. Oh, we also hit on San Fran first five, basically targeting Patrick Corbin. That was another winner as well. So put some of these winners up right behind me, or I'll probably put some already up. So let's get straight into it, man. If you guys do want to tap in to premium, I'm gonna put another special code for everyone who wants to tap in. I do it every single video. I'm gonna do it for the next few weeks, just to reward everyone who's been watching all of the lives, man. So I mean, all of the YouTube videos. All right, let's get straight into it, and we're gonna go talk about maybe 2 or 3 spots. If you want to know every single play I'm giving out, go on my premium, grab a package. But if you want a free week, as I said many times before, just go on to one of our partner apps, sign up, use the appropriate code and link, and we'll get you added to a week free in premium, man. All right, so let's go, man. Let's go straight into it. Let's talk about a few spots, man. So I'm gonna talk about a few. I don't know if there's gonna be a play yet, but I do want to target my man Chris Bassitt. But let me reduce my image a little bit. So Chris Bassitt is the starting pitcher of, obviously, the Toronto Blue Jays. They'll be going against the Baltimore Orioles, who have definitely picked it up from their little slump that they had. I mean, Baltimore Orioles, they've been lights out. I think they're one of the favorites, in my opinion. They're one of my favorites, at least, to go all the way. I think they're a very strong team. I think they have good pitching, good hitting, and Chris Bassitt has his work cut out for him, man. I mean, he's had a pretty tough time. Already gave up 5 earned runs in the last game to Baltimore. He'll be pitching at home, where he's a little bit better, but I don't know. He has not been pitching well, man. He is, at least in the last 5 games, he's 100% over the 2.5 earned run line, and he'll be going against his Baltimore team once again. And Baltimore has definitely picked it up. In the last 30 days, 8th ranked. Over the season, the 5th, probably the best hitting team against right-handed pitching. And he's not a strikeout type pitcher, even though we've bet on over his strikeouts in a few spots. But as of late, 18th percentile, I mean, that's not good. He's going to have some trouble against some of these guys who are can absolutely murder him. Whether it's the sinker, look at some of the batting averages on these guys, and the strikeout rate very low. Even the cutter, very low. So I think he will have some problems. If you want to go attack his strikeouts, 4.5 is very low. He's usually around 5.5. So if you want to bet his under, I mean, that's another thing. I wouldn't want to attack this, even though the lines are pretty favorable. Baltimore, at least in the last 30 days, have been striking out a little bit higher rate, but you know, in terms of his strikeout percentages, I mean, he's league average. I think 4.5 is pretty low, so I wouldn't attack the under. You could do the over, but it's very juiced. I think maybe the best way to play him is maybe either under on his outs, because if he gets rocked, has a tough time, he won't go in through 6, or you could just do his earned runs. If they get 3 runs on him, this will cash as well. You also have to remember too, if he does pitch into 6 innings, you have more chances to get earned runs against him. Obviously, they're playing in Baltimore. I mean, in Toronto. We will see if they open the top or not. Usually, sometimes they play indoors. That will be determined. And obviously, it's very early. I don't know 100% yet if that's gonna happen. But that's my first look. Chris Bassitt over 2.5 earned runs, or even under his outs. Some ways you guys could probably play that. But all right, let's take another look. And let's just go to the other side, man. Let's go look at my man Grayson Rodriguez of the Baltimore Orioles. And I'm kind of looking at either his Ks, which, is not super juiced, or his outs, which is definitely a lot more juice, -190, -200. So very annoying, man. I think he could, if he pitches well and gets strikeouts, he will definitely get his outs as well. But his K line is very reasonable, 6 Ks. He's done it many, many times before already. Padres, one of the toughest teams to strike out. He already did it once against this Toronto Blue Jays team. 8 strikeouts, 8 against Texas, 7 against the Yankees, and then 8 against Oakland. These are all teams that have been hitting very, very well. Even in the last 10 games, 80% over this line. But the main thing you want to say is that Grayson Rodriguez is a strikeout pitcher, 81 percentile. The tough thing is that, the reason why the line is decently low is because Toronto has, even on the season, has not really striked out too much. If we look at his pitch mix, there are guys here that can definitely not strike out at an insane rate. The changeup, a little bit higher strikeout rate for some of the guys. The cutter, not too much. So, his pitch mix, he can get strikeouts, but it's not the best matchup for him. So, if you don't want to do the Ks, maybe we could do earned runs. He gave up 3 last time to Toronto. If you want to do the over, but to do the under, let's see, the under is -148. He's done fairly well over the last 10 games, but I'm kind of looking at his Ks, man. I think he's been getting his groove together, especially from the beginning of the season where he was getting rocked. He's been doing much, much better. He's already done it once. I don't like that they've seen him so many times already on the head-to-head matchups, but hey, this will be the third time they see him this season. Can he get the Ks? I think he can, but I think out of all the other stats, or at least for where the line's at, I think it's pretty reasonable. I don't think there's a super edge to betting over 5.5, but I do think he's gotten his groove together. Third time out's obviously a much tougher time. You don't want the batters to see him too many times, but I don't think it's a bad matchup for him at all. I think he can get 6 Ks for sure once again, but we'll see. I don't know if that's going to be an absolute play for me yet. All right, and then the last game I'm going to look at is we're going to go over to the Rays and Cardinals game, and this is going to be an interesting one, man, because I did not expect this. Is not the play. See the head-to-head, so we're going to look at my man Sonny Gray and his strikeouts. He's done fairly well over the last 10 games, 50%, but the last 5, 60% over this line. And he went against some decently tough competition. So against the Nationals, he went against them twice. First time, didn't get it, got it the second time. Chicago didn't get it, got it the second time. Last time against Atlanta, got 10 strikeouts. That's pretty good. Atlanta is, however, one of the higher strikeout teams. In terms of the Nationals, let's see, the Nationals over the last few months, below league average over the last few weeks against right-handed pitchers. He'll be going against Tampa Bay, who's actually been striking out at a pretty high rate against right-handed pitchers. Sonny Gray is one of the highest strikeout players in the league. And Tampa Bay's been striking out at a 27% clip over the last 2 weeks, 26 on the last 30 games. So he pitches pretty deep games around 7 innings. So I do think Sonny Gray has a pretty decent matchup against this Tampa Bay team. If we look at his home splits, 3% across the last 10 games. To me, it's just a matchup. If we look at some of his pitch mixes, the fastball, there's a bunch of guys here that strike out above 25% rate. Even the slider, just look at that. So Sonny Gray, I don't think he's been in the best form though, but I think the matchup, him pitching at home, I think he can definitely get some strikeouts. It's pretty juiced, obviously, at -140, but I think he can definitely get 7 Ks. He has the capabilities and the leash to pitch into 7 innings. If we get into 7 to 6 type innings, we definitely have a very, very good chance to get over this line. And even when he got rocked against the Nationals, he got 7 strikeouts and pitched into 5 innings. Tampa Bay, granted, they have not been hitting the best against right-handed pitching, and they've been striking at a really high rate. They do force a lot of walks, which I guess can be okay, because then, he just gets more chances to strike guys out. But given the percentile where he's been striking out guys, and also the strikeout rate that Tampa Bay has been striking out at over the last 30 days to 2 weeks, I think it's a really good matchup for Sonny Gray. But I will admit, he has not been looking the best over the maybe second half of the season, but let's see how he does. In terms of the head-to-head, like I said, it is not the best way to cap this, but he hasn't pitched against him this year. So the first time out, he at least for some of the teams that we just spoke about, he didn't go over his line. But the second time out, he went over his line. But look, Tampa Bay obviously has been a seller in the trade deadline. They gave up Rosarena. I mean, they gave up Isaac Paredes over the past few years, or the past season. So, I mean, he's going against a much weaker lineup in terms of batters. So I think Sonny Gray has a more favorable matchup. But yeah, those are the 3 plays I've been looking at, guys. Again, guys, hopefully this has been helpful. If you guys do want to tap in, obviously go to that pin comment, get that discount to tap in for the daily. But if you want something